Hello and welcome to the Mid-Mo Music Show. I'm your host, Deanna Solstice, and today we have native Lake of the Ozarks singer-songwriter Phillip Twitchell.
Driving down your highways, moonlight to skyscrapers, the beggars needing shelter from the change. You billionaire, ooh, you squillionaire, ties you up, ties you up, ties you up with his change. Yes, he ties you up with his chain. Settle down now. Your trees are rolling round, how they're like the pebbles in the eyes of your storms. They're like the pebbles in the eyes of your storms. Far away, they call you out to play to the wide open shores. It's the wide open doors where the people smile and dance, but they talk within a glance, and they'll say, here we'll go again. Eyes of a ghost through dirty frames. Here we'll go again. The same old stories of different names. Same old stories and different games. Oh, 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 oh.
And welcome back. I'm here with Phillip Twitchell. Hey, Phillip.
Hey.
Thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you.
So you're playing in the Lake of the Ozarks. You're from there, right?
Yeah, I'm one of the natives, one of the only that I know of that plays out original music and also plays covers and plays out for money. Most people I know from there don't really do originals, so it's cool that you guys had me on the show as a local.
Yeah, it's great to have local singer-songwriters on this show and see how much songwriting is going on in Missouri. You said you had a place there that you kind of started out.
Yeah, everybody knows it as Vikings Post now. It's a Vikings Post 306. It's in Lynn Creek, but it's always been Donna's Ice House for me. This woman, Donna, is just a genius. Awesome songwriter. I mean, she was one of the people that was sitting in the audience in Austin City Limits whenever it was really kicking, you know? So she knows good taste, and whenever I worked with her, just hung out with her a lot. She showed me some Neil Young songs, and then I met Stonewall Jackson, and then he just changed my life, and just watched him play. And then from then, he was doing originals, and I'd never seen. I grew up around bars, and everybody was like, bonk, Sweet Caroline.
Right.
And then like, I was like, I want to get away from that. So Donna kind of helped get the musician in me to come out, so.
Awesome. She sounds great. I need to go visit that place, it sounds like. How long you been writing songs?
I started, me and my brother had a comic book when we were younger, and that's where I kind of started. I can't draw, but I have an imagination, so I'd make up the characters and stuff. So it started writing comic books, and then I just kind of always did it on the side, and then after meeting Donna and being introduced to people that wanted to play music, it was just the inevitable. So I just started, like, even whenever I write, I think of like it as a movie, as compared to like, oh, this is gonna be a hit song. It's like, no, this song develops into that next song, and it's like, it has a process, and more therapeutical for me, but I know that whenever I really mean it and do something like that as a writer, it's cool to see somebody else like, who did that? And it's like, oh, Tommy Thomas, and like, you know, you can just make up whatever you want. It's great.
Yeah, it is great. That's one of the nicest things about songwriting is you make it up.
Yeah.
You have an album that you put together. Is it a concept album?
I have 2 albums out right now. Both are on Bandcamp. One of them's on iTunes, Backbone to Footprint, and then the other one's called Elated. The newest one is Elated. Both albums I went to California to record with. No practice, just buddies of mine that love my music. In 3 days we recorded, like each time I went out there, hung out with them. It took 3 days, no rehearsal, just buffed it out. I wanted to record it like how Sound City was, like how Bob Dylan used to write, how the band used to write. Like, here's a couple songs, let's feel it out, and let's actually feel it rather than sitting in a studio for hours and hours working on one lick or whatever. It's like, no, like, you're on the spot, play, mean it, you know? So both albums you can get on Bandcamp for sure, and I'm trying to get them physical right now. I had a physical CDs for Backbone to Footprints, but that was like 10 years ago, so.
Awesome. Are you writing solo or are you collaborating with anyone?
I had 2 other albums I was getting ready to come out with before all this. I was gonna do an album called Scent of Sanity, and it was just gonna be all like, kind of like a Sgt. Pepper, where it's like just very abstract. I was gonna record like sceneries and have that kind of in through songs. And I was gonna do that in Peoria, Illinois with my friend Ryan Simpson, but because of all this, I haven't been able to travel. And then my other album was gonna just be poppy hits, like just trying to actually make a hit that's just goofy. And for some reason, every time I play these certain songs, like I beatbox at shows too. So whenever someone will be like, play something I can dance to, I'll be like, give me something I can dance. And it's totally a joke, but for some reason, the whole place is just like, holy.
Yeah.
So like, I'm like, that's gonna be my next concept of just songs that don't really matter, but it'll get people dancing. I don't know.
So the songs you played today, are they stories about your life, or do you have like concept with that too?
I have, most of the time whenever I write those songs, it's kind of like an epiphany. Like More was, I was in California, and it just felt like every time I did something big, every time it got bigger, you think, you know, you get to a certain point where you're like, okay, that's the peak, I can relax for a while. No, it was like every time I did something big, people wanted more out of me and more out of me and more out of me, and there just wasn't a return. So it got to the point where they were making actions and then expecting me to be able to pick up their actions, and it's just more and more and more and more and more. So just that's where it came from.
It's like we've always been waiting, pressed against those seams, moving on with our hobbies, just enough to scream. But now we've gone, aiming to shock this world. Would have thought we'd been strong, but just as it started to burst, caught in a gamble with lovers alike. And outside the window, it's outside the door. There's something lurking, they're looking for more.
So this is
I saw you run, pulled up the gun, so pull down the sun. Saw you race to your grave with a silver bullet in your pocket. I saw you scared, pissed in a maze, the silver spring haze. Then you gave me a gaze. So admit your shame. You got no one to blame. It's your time to die. 'Cause I'm watching you
Scared. That song I wrote because I was attacked in my own house, and the guy thought I was scared of him, but in reality, you could see the fear in his eyes. And as I was the calm one, trying to calm everything down, I wasn't scared at all, but you could just see so much fear in his eyes, and you could just like, I was trying to envelop the feeling of like, you're almost, like I say, you're racing to your grave with a silver bullet in your pocket, trying to kill me right now is like trying to kill a vampire. You're dreaming. Like, it's not going to happen. You attacked me in my own house. So I detained him, called the cops, everything got, and he ended up getting screwed over because he attacked me and all this other stuff. So in my head, I just have faith enough in myself to not get scared, because nothing can scare me if I've already dealt with things like that. Like, I live in fear, but I'm not scared of a particular person, if that makes any sense. So that's what it's about.
Yeah, and you said it was you usually do it electric, but on the guitar that you brought, it really came across on the acoustic.
And that was cool. I broke the strings, so it was like rock and roll. Like,
It's rock and roll.
like a part of me want to be
It's
like,
not rock and roll until you break a string.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
great. So is there any other place that our audience can find your music online?
I'd say, just like I said, just Google me. If you want to watch me play, I usually play Lake of the Ozarks, Backwater Jacks. I'll be playing Dog Days soon. Lodo Lounge, Donna's Ice House, of course. Sometimes I go to the Mission, hang out up there in Jeff City. And I'm open to play anywhere. Like, I love playing in Kansas City, St. Louis, even in Columbia. I never get out and play in Columbia, so that'd be awesome. One shout out I wanted to do, the guitar pick I was using was made by a friend of mine from Phantom Planet. He's a guitar player, and he's been making these agate style picks. And if you haven't checked them out, Skull and Tones. Just Google it. They're pretty high price, but I can guarantee you that you'll become a better guitar player. And I've heard other people like try to sell guitar picks to me like that, and it's, I don't know, it makes me a better guitar player. It makes me more particular, so.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being on the show today.
Yeah, thank you, I appreciate it.
He lost his mind, sleeping with his money. Crossed the lines when a friend got caught. Way over shoulders, the eyes will roll deep, and this soul that remains in the sounds of your sleep. We're going overboard. We're steady now. You got to study how you can fake it for the ones who'll just make up all your rules. Now believe your truths, and if you take your roots, try to build this boat so we can all go back home. We're going overboard. Lost his kind, sleeping with his honeys. Crossed the lines when a friend got caught. Way over shoulders, the eyes roll deep, and the soul that remains in the sounds of your sleep. You're going on.